What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I thought we'd jump in and have a bit of fun talking about the top 10 vendors in Destiny 2. This isn't going to be a highly analytical review by any means, but there are some important characters in the Destiny universe. Some of them are also helpful vendors, or maybe not so helpful in some cases, like Asha, who we now assume to be a harpy. I mean, what are we supposed to do with that, seriously? In at number 10, it's Ikora Rey. Okay, Ikora is alright herself. It feels like she can bring the mood down a little bit at times, especially when a humongous Cabal roid-drinking maniac is trying to destroy the Traveler, but at least she has been getting involved in some of the action a bit more recently. As a vendor though, I mean, what on earth is going on with that inventory? She's got her own platform, a nice desk, and a wonderful handcrafted rug, but they didn't give her any loot. Absolutely outrageous. Number 9 is going to be Crow. He's got nothing either, but he was living in caves until recently and has some structural problems with his head at times, so between that and wanting a chat with the Witch Queen, he probably has enough problems at the moment as it is. In at number 8, it's going to be Everver. Number 8 is Yuna, who is absolutely useless to most of us watching this video according to my channel's geostats. And you may be wondering who the hell is Yuna? And according to Destiny Tracker, she's a vendor on Asian servers who sells exotics. So she's basically Xur, but doesn't have a cephalopod attached to her face. Also, I think her exotics are sold for real cash in the Korean version, which is pretty wild. And she is actually a real vendor, I'm not making this up. Google it. Up next, we have Hawthorn. She's the clan vendor. She has clan bounties, and she gives us some nice powerful gear every week when we do clan activities. She is actually pretty helpful for leveling up and upgrading gear slots, so she's a useful vendor, but a seriously annoying one if you ask me. She's still highly impressed by the work our loving clan has done for the city, and she goes on and on and on about it. I think I'd prefer it if she just stared silently at us while that crazy bird teabags a wooden stick. It'd be awkward, sure, but definitely amusing.
Birds.
Number 6 is going to have to be Master Raoul, and he is simply useless and seriously annoying. Only joking, he is the Cryptarch. He's been with us for a long time. He's grumpy, he's old, and you know that he's smirking as you walk away ready to delete another trash roll, but it wouldn't be home without him, would it? Number 5 is going to be Zavala, and this one was actually a tie between Ada 1 and Zavala, but Zavala didn't make me farm for 3 days to get a currency which lets my armor look like other armor I own, unlike the robot lady did, so that and being a Titan main may have made me a little biased. Maybe it's a draw, I don't know, but Zavala's alright, although now I feel bad for not mentioning Shax. Okay, Shax is cooler than the other two, so Shax is going to be number 5 instead. And in at number 4 we have Banshee, and he's actually a pretty chill dude these days. He's got random rolls on a few weapons each week. He just sold a near god roll fallen guillotine, so he's often given us a helping hand to upgrade our gear and get new stuff. On top of this, his bounties are really good for XP gains and they don't always have stupid objectives. And he gives us catalyst quests and daily mods, plus he didn't turn into Clovis Bray or whatever the story was there, so all around he's a pretty successful dude. Number 3 is going to have to be the Iron Lord himself, Lord Saladin. I wonder if he remembers that we're Iron Lords again yet. He didn't seem to remember at the start of Destiny 2, I don't know honestly, but he is a pinnacle loot dispensary. And whenever Saladin's around town, we're going to get a bunch of gear, some pretty good stat rolls, plus Bungie have started giving him new weapons each season, which we can get access to, albeit in my case by being literally deleted by 6 stacks in Iron Banner for a couple of hours, so he's a pretty cool guy. Up next though is the main reason that I keep my helmet on in the tower. There's always the risk that Saint 14 might headbutt you if you give him a wrong look or a failed Trials passage, but his loot is actually pretty good now. With the update to Trials, we can pick up a load of rolls on weapons we've already earned. Saint has a ranking system featuring some pretty good Trials weapons, plus I think he's a pretty good Trials announcer, and while he can sometimes be a bit standoffish, considering what he's been through, he's a truly passionate Titan and one hell of an ally. But finally, in at number 1, it's gonna be Xur, the guy who stole all of the loot from everybody else. Which of course is better than bringing the same trash for 3 years straight, right? So Xur's getting the number 1 spot here, and I'm sure some folks would disagree, but Xur can now sell a lot of legendary weapons, including some playlist weapons and those which are no longer available elsewhere, and that makes him pretty interesting. In one of the recent weeks, he had 2 or 3 arguably godly weapon rolls, so on top of the fact that he still has the chance of bringing a really well-rolled exotic, or something you've been on the lookout for, I'd say Xur is a pretty good guy now. And yes, Xur, I am sorry that I called you a cephalopod. We should maybe throw a shout out Eris's way as well. We haven't been working so closely with her recently, but let's be fair, she hasn't had it easy. I mean, she endured growing a third eye while trapped in a pit on the moon, presumably surviving by eating hive biomass and cheese. And Shaxx confirmed that moon cheese is canon in Destiny, by the way. So anyway, Eris, we haven't forgotten you. Just don't forget to pack that cheese. No more hangry outbursts, please. So guys, just wanted to have a bit of fun with that. I'm actually making this video in the downtime that Destiny's having right now at the tail end of September. And as I sit here, I can't play Destiny or look at the database or anything, so why not do something different, eh? But seriously, there are plenty more vendors, like our friends Eris or Petra. And in terms of quality of life, Bungie have done some pretty good upgrades to the tower vendors over the past few months, with rank rewards and pursuits. Save 14 is pretty good if you're playing Trials, Xur got some love, and the playlist vendors are in a fairly good spot, as are Banshee and Ada 1 on the most part. I think it's also really neat having weekly weapon and armor rollouts on a few vendors now as well, since it was something we were asking for quite a while in Destiny 2, especially following the kind of vendor resets we had in D1. And so hopefully Bungie are going to continue doing these upgrades. I think they've also done a pretty good job with reward systems like the Wayfinder's Compass. That's got some neat gameplay upgrades. Then in Witch Queen, we're going to see the crafting station and system for the expansion. And so some of the loot vendors will be interesting as well. I'd love to see some new stuff for Hawthorn since she is relevant, maybe some additional bounties for playing with other Guardians or clanmates which have some serious XP gains, or even currencies as rewards. Amanda Holiday doesn't see a bunch of use either, and I'd love it if we could get some kind of modular ships or sparrows which we could actually craft with unique bonuses or something like that. I don't know, maybe these ideas are a little bit wild, but otherwise I'm pretty curious to see what upgrades we get in the next expansion. And of course we joke, but it does look like Akora is going to play a more significant role in the Witch Queen. And so it seems entirely possible she is going to get some content a little bit further down the road. And I thought it was worth noting that Bungie have done a lot of quality of life work on vendors and systems, which is really positive. But guys, if you've enjoyed the video today, a rating down below really does help us out. Let us know who all of your favorite vendors or characters are in Destiny. Of course, they're not all actual vendors. Bungie have been doing a pretty good job with the story and character stuff as well. So give us any thoughts below and any changes that you'd love to see for vendors in the next expansion. But also, if you have enjoyed the video today and you're new to the channel, be sure to get subscribed and I'll keep you up to date with Destiny 2. Also, if you haven't already, feel free to turn on notifications and that way you won't miss out on any content. But otherwise for now, as always, thank you for tuning in, and whatever you guys get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.